So the Romans came after the Greeks, and they were the civilization who took over the Greeks. Who are the Romans, and what about their civilization, and where are they located? This is our lesson for today. So go and open the page 134, and let's see this. What you can see here in the red color, this is the Roman Empire. Imagine all of this is for one country or one empire, all of this red color. Now, if you can come here to the north, this is Europe. This is Spain, Italy. We have after that Germany, and we have Holland, and here we have Asia, and here we have Africa. So the Roman Empire took some parts of Europe. This is from Europe, and some part of Asia. This is from Asia, and some part of Africa. 3 continents. So this empire wasn't like any other empire that came before. The Roman, they were a very big and strong empire, the strongest empire around history. Why? Because they extended their kingdom to have all 3 continents: Africa, Asia, and Europe. They were the first empire to have all of this for themselves. Okay, Europe became an active and important role player with the beginning of the Roman Empire. Before having the Roman Empire, nobody cared about the European Empire. Why? Because it wasn't important. Everything was going on in where? In Asia, here, in Jordan, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Egypt. Egypt was always a location and a center for all civilization during history. So all the people, when they want the education, when they want the culture, when they want the money, they will go for those areas only. Nobody cared about Europe. Nobody know what happened in Europe until the Roman Empire exists. Roman Empire started in Rome. This is Rome in Italy. This is Italy. It started as only a small country and then spread after that to invade all other countries beside it until it had all of those countries with it. So at the beginning of the Roman Empire, all the eyes now went to Europe to see who is this new empire, how they're strong like this, what's going on right here. This is the Roman Empire and how they started. The first well-known emperor in the Roman Empire was called Caesar Augustus. His name is Caesar Augustus. He was a person who was working in the army, and then after that, he invaded some of the lands beside them, and then he started to make it a city. He made it the city of Rome, make it the center of his empire. City of Rome in Italy, the center of his empire. That's why they call it Roman Empire, because it comes from the city Rome. Who was the first emperor? The first emperor, this is the first emperor. This is a status for him, by the way. This is the real face of him. So Caesar Augustus was the first emperor for Roman Empire. August extended Roman Empire. He developed networks of roads and courier system which delivered mail to faraway places. Now August, when he come to rule Rome and to make it as a city, and then after that a country, and after that an empire, he started to make he started to make system for everything. System for transportation. What does that mean? It means that because now the empire is extended and has a lot of countries around it, and it's all in one empire, he needs what? He needs to make roads between these places that is easy for the people to take it from one place to another, okay? And also he needs to have a courier system. Courier system, it means like a transportation system, like wagons and cars and chariots, all of these things to take people from one place to another for the general use, the common people, yani. And also, not only this, he delivered the mail from one place to another as a communicate system. So now he delivered the mail from one country to another. This mail would go with people. He will give the message for one person. He will ride his horse to go from one place to another. He was also able to build a strong army, firefighting, and a system of taxes. Not only this, but also he made a very strong army that frighten all the people around them, because those people, they have their own uniform. All the army have one uniform, they are all wearing it, and they have the best weapons, and they are so strong, they are very trained. And he made also firefighting systems and stations, and also he made system of tax. What does it mean taxes? يعني he will take the money of the people and put it for the government to give services for the people. So he was a very brilliant person. He didn't want to make empire and that's it. No, he wanted to make a very developed empire with a system in everything. If you want to go for economy, you will find. If you want to go for education, you will find people. If you want to go for transportation, you will find the best transportation. If you want to go for the army, you will find the best defense. If you want to go for firefighting and stations, you will find the best people. System of taxes, system of mails, everything. He established everything. That's why August was very important empire. After his death, now Emperor August died. Who came after him? His stepson. His stepson, his name is Tiberius. This is Tiberius, his stepson. He ruled after him. Of course, after Tiberius died, there has another person comes. Usually they come as an heir, yani a son that comes from a father, and then the grandson, and then the grandson, all from one family. Now, the thing that was in there, my girls, that the Roman Empire was established on one concept. This concept was the freedom of religion. What that mean? It means that every person in that empire, he has the freedom and the choice to choose what kind of religion he want to follow and to follow it. So there was no compulsory in the religion. Yani if you are Muslim, you can practice your prayer, you can go to mosque, it's okay. If you are a Christian, it's okay. If you are Jewish, it's okay. Nobody will come to you and say, "Wow, you are from another religion. You can't be here with us. Here we are only from one religion, and we can't have other religions." No. For August, he established Roman Empire upon freedom of religion, and he said that people should practice what kind of religion and prayer they like, as long as they worship God. It's okay. I don't care what religion they have. Okay, this is the time of August. That the freedom of religion actually encouraged a lot of people from different places and different countries to come where? To come to Rome. Why? Because they said, Wallah, it's a nice place since there's nobody to force us to follow a religion or to kill us if we are from another religion. So I think to live in a place like this with this much of freedom, it's good. So a lot of people came to this area to practice the freedom of religion. That's why it was an attraction point for people. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing about the Roman Empire, they took care of what? Now they have a lot of money. They have prosperity from the money and from the wealth that they gain from all the countries around them. Now they try to what? To develop their living system. By what? By making the Roman theater. Roman theater was one uh, of the first theater in history. They made the theater like this. These are real pictures, by the way. If you go for Egypt, Alexandria, you go for something, it's called Al Masrah Al Romani or Roman theater. You will find one in Egypt, you will find one in Lebanon, you will find one in Syria, you will find one in Greece, you will find plenty of them in Rome, in Italy. Everywhere you will find Roman theater, because everywhere they went, they make a theater after them. Okay, so what is the concept of the theater? Why they make it? They make it to make it what? To make it attraction point for other countries to come and to see what kind of things and performance they have. They have some people who dance, they have some people who sing, they have some people like clowns to entertain the audience. So now they have a lot of money that make the people able to come to this theater to enjoy it, and also to have education from the performance that's in there. You can also, if you go for Jordan, you will find one of these also in a city. It's called Al Jarash city in Jordan. they has also a Roman theater like this. And until today, they are using it for people actually. And if you go for Jordan, they will make sometimes they will make singing concert in there, and you can sit in here and you will find a lot of audience with you. The countries still use it until this day, the Roman theater, by the way. طيب, what is the first permanent theater that they made it in the Roman Empire? It was the Pompey Permanent Theater. It was the first theater that they ever established in the Roman Empire. So what is the first one? Pompey Theater. Okay. And what else, ya Miss طيب, that they established? One of their achievements and their establishment is the arenas. Wow, it sounds like a nice name, right? What does it mean, arena? Arena is like the stadium that we know nowadays. You know the stadium of the football match? If we want to make a football match nowadays, do you know it? ملعب الكورة. Do you know ملعب الكورة that we have here in Jeddah, ملعب الجوهرة? We have in Riyadh also, ملعب الملك فهد. Those things in the ancient time, the Romans were the first people to make a stadium like this. But they didn't play football in there, by the way. They called it at that time, they didn't call it stadium, they called it arena. What does it mean, arena? Arena, it means a ring like this in the middle for the players to come and to play. And the people, the audience, will be here, sitting here. And usually the king will have a fancy room in the top, and he will watch with his what? With his family. طيب, what they are watching, what kind of a sport they have? Actually, they didn't have a sport like the sport that we know. They have a combat. They have combat. What does it mean, combat? It means fighting. طيب, who are fighting? Like animals, dogs, or chickens? No, actually, men fighting men. Okay, they are fighting like which type of fighting? Actually, they are fighting with swords, and one of them will die and the other will survive. The survivor will be a champion, and the one that who dies, he will be what? He will be a loser, and they will bury him. But for the winner, they will bring the next day. They will bring another person to fight him. This is how they have the combat at that time. So the combat was really cruel and merciless. The people there, they didn't combat with chickens or animals. No, they combat each other as man combating another man, and they will fight over death until death. They will fight each other until death. That if you are lucky to fight a man. Those men who's fighting each other, they called them gladiators. If you are lucky enough, you will fight another gladiator, which means a man like you. But if you are not lucky, then you will go to fight what? Animals. Animals? Yes. Actually, the people at that time, they like the blood so much. They like to kill each other. So they have sometimes they bring the gladiator, but he won't fight people. He will fight very hungry and wild animals like lions. Lions, tigers, they will open the door from here and they will let the lion come to you, and you are standing there waiting for him. And you should be able to kill that lion, otherwise he will kill you. Imagine. And the people will cheer for you. During this time, they will cheer like, hooray, hooray, go ahead and do it again. And the people will give money for the people on the doors here. They will give money for them when they are happy with the result. This is how they have the arena and how they used it. And this is give you a glance about the Roman Empire, that it's a really merciless and strong empire that didn't care that much for people. Okay, we have also another thing about the Roman Empire. What language they use, Yamis? They use the Latin language. Latin language is the origin of the English language. So as you can see here, this is Latin. You will say, but they have the same letters that we have in English. Yes, because English aslan came from the Latin. Not only English, but also French, Spanish, Italian, all of these languages which use the English letters, they came from the Latin language. So the source of them all was one language, Latin. And the Latin was used by the Romans. Okay. Life in Roman Empire revolved around Rome and the seven hills surrounded it. So, what is the most important city? If I ask you, what is the most important city? You would say one answer, which is Rome. Rome was the center and the capital city, and everything revolved about it and around it. Okay, this is how the gladiators they fight with the lions, by the way. This is gladiator, and they will put a lion that is fighting with him, and he will try to kill the lion. Another thing that is major in Roman Empire is the slavery. People at that time they have a lot of slaves. But how they used the slaves at that time? Actually, slavery existed in Rome, and many slave markets were found in the city. How they used it? They bring people from other countries. And for example, they invaded another country. Let's suppose they invaded Greece. Okay, they took over the land. What they do after that? They took the strong men and the beautiful woman, and they took it where? To the country, to their country, to the Rome. And there will be big market. This market, they call it slavery market. What they are doing in this, they put number and a name on each body, on each one of them. And then the people will come and they will say, how much is this person? How much is this person? And you will say, this is $5. This is $20. And you will sell the people for people. And then, for example, I bought this one or this one, I will take him home and he will be my slave. What does it mean? It means that he will work for me. He will work in my service. He will clean the house. He will go, for example, to clean the horse. He will go to bring the stuff from the market. This is how they use it, okay? And it was very known and normal at that time. Yani one day, if you are, Allah forbid, yani, if we are sitting in our country and Roman Empire came to invade us, one day we will be in our home. The next day we will be slave in the Roman market. This is how their life was. So their life was there. There's no limit for the slavery. The slavery was open for all people. It was very known and usual to buy people and to buy another person as your property. Yani instead of having, for example, what do you own? Do you own mobile iPhone? No, I own a girl. Or I own a person. So at that time, your property goes to people, not only to objects. This is why something interested about the Roman Empire. Okay, my girls, this is for the Roman Empire. Do you have any question? Girls? Before we go, I just want to show you something. Just a minute.